We are headed to the drop-off point. It's been a good morning. Got everything done at the house with my pretty wife. And everything's good. Got Tasher following us so he can ride back with Casey and drop his truck off in town. So let's go to the woods. So I made it up here to the top of this mountain. This is my drop-off point.
A little further than I remember it being.
Yeah, by road coming up, it was a little over 9.5 miles. So, all right, I'm gonna get my pack, start heading that direction, and see what we can find. All right, there goes Casey and Tasher. All right, if there's one thing that'll scare you when you're walking around the woods by yourself, that is turkey and grouse that decide to wait until you about step on them before they decide to fly. I've only been walking for about a mile. Had a big grouse come right up underneath me. I mean, I almost could have caught it, but I was trying not to have a heart attack instead, so. So I crossed a old four-wheeler trail here. I was kind of walking in the direction of it for just a little bit. I knew it was here, but came across something kind of interesting here. So I think I'll flip this camera around and show you guys what I just found here. Okay, there we go. Fresh bear tracks. They're not real big, but the size of my hand, I guess. But at first I thought maybe this one here was a mountain lion, but you can see the back foot right here. Okay, paws, not a big bear, but definitely a bear nonetheless. So I stopped to get a drink of water and found a bunch of grasshoppers here, so not really feeling like I want grasshoppers right now, but haven't had anything to eat today, so not the best, that's for sure. I prefer the bright yellow grasshoppers, but I'm gonna try to gather up a few more of those and then get back on my feet and down this mountain. These should taste a lot better than those grasshoppers. No, not really. All right, so now things are getting a little bit harder. Came from up there, probably dropped about 400 feet already, and still going down there. So not the best camera to show these angles, but it is steep and slow going. So I get down to the bottom. There should be some water down there somewhere. So let's go. All right, so that logging road that I found, I figured out it was a new logging road, and it was because there was a fire back in here not long ago. So probably a lightning strike fire. But anyways, look what I found. I don't know if you guys can see that or not, but that is running water, which is good. So I'm gonna sit here for a few minutes because it's nice and cool down here, and I'm just walking through really thick timber now. So the idea is to get to the bottom of this mountain. There's a creek that's on my map, and I'm gonna follow that creek in a downhill direction, which is gonna put me in an area that I feel like I want to camp tonight. So water, good. thick in here. When you want off a mountain, best thing you can do, sometimes, not all the time, is find a little creek or river and follow it down. Problem is here, it's just this vegetation so thick, and it gets in spots where it's so steep, like right here, where I have to take a minute before I can get down. All right, guys, so I've been chomping on the side of this mountain, trying to get to the bottom of this thing. See how everything's burnt, but the good thing is this has been clear, even though it's been really steep. So I now feel like it's getting clear down there where that little creek's running, and this creek's supposed to flow into another creek. I'll follow that creek on down to where I want to camp tonight, but I mean, I still got another 3 or 4 miles, but let's get to the bottom of this mountain here. See if it stays flat or if it could just be one spot down there, but I'm tired of walking in all these dead trees, all this burnt stuff, so let's do that. All right, day one. I'm not even halfway in and I'm already tired. I don't know if you guys can see it, but I just came down. I just started plowing down that. I ran into some kind of thorn tree. Kind of had a rock slip, fell over that. But it looks like now I am on a trail here that's probably just made by the guys in here fighting this fire. So I am down here in the bottom though. I got a mountain over here, I got a mountain over here, and I'm down here in this funnel. So this should take me to the point out here, or the end of the mountain. Then I got to circle all the way back around this mountain to go the direction I want. So let's go see. Okay, guys, that is what I needed to see right there. This is a lot better water than I found earlier, so I'm gonna go ahead and fill up with water and then start making my way through this timber here, and got about another 3/4 of a mile before I feel like I'll be out of this brush. All right, so I finally made it off that damn mountain. That is probably the hardest hike I've ever done. It truly was. Just because it was so steep, and I just really didn't know where I was going. I mean, I did, but I didn't. So I got me a walking stick now. I'm gonna clean it up when I finally decide I'm gonna camp. When I came off that mountain following that river, and I got down there, like I was telling you guys, was a nice clear spot. Before I could come back this way on this trail to follow this little creek, which is dry. That's not good, but I'm sure there's some water holes I can find or something. Had to cross through some private land, and it was the creepiest place I had ever been through. I just kept my head down, went around the edge of their land, because you kind of cross onto theirs. But anyways, it just want to get away from here, get on down the trail. Looks like maybe I'm gonna try to do 5 more miles. I'm at 6 miles already. It's almost 2 o'clock. I'm definitely hungry. I've only had a few of those bugs to eat, but I'm just gonna try to hike as much as I can and not so much worry about food, and try to just get a nice place to set up before dark, because my shirt, everything's pretty wet from sweating, so I like to try to dry everything out before it gets too late. So all right, let's get back on the trail. So, first day, I think I pushed too hard. Being up on that mountain where that fire was, I pushed really hard there, and then I've just been walking in this valley trying to find a place to camp, and I think I should have camped back there. I don't know. For one, there's a lot of deadfall. And look at those trees. And a lot of dead pines right here in this area, so. Oh, and I was hungry. I've been drinking enough water, but I think I was so tired now I'm not hungry. My back is hurting. Calf muscles are hurting. But I'm in good spirits though, so I guess I'll walk another couple hundred yards. All I can find is these aspens and stuff right here along the edge of this valley, and those are not gonna work to hold up the hammock, so we'll just keep going. All right, guys, if you're wondering why I got this beard pulled up, it's because it's getting hung in my back. I think this is where we're gonna camp tonight. This is kind of the end of one trail, starts another one, but and these trails I'm following, these are basically wildlife trails or cattle trails. I mean, they're hiking trails, and they're on my map and stuff, but not much happening. Okay. All right, so I think I'm gonna tie to this big leaning tree here and this big tree here, get the hammock threw up. It's a mess around here. There's all kinds of dead wood and stuff, but I think I'll make a little fire ring over in that opening. But first thing I'm gonna do is get these clothes off. As you can see, I'm soaking wet. There's a nice breeze blowing through here, and I'm gonna hang them up over here in the sun. Let things start drying out a little bit before it actually gets cold, okay? So let's get everything fixed up and hung up, I guess. Well, that isn't gonna work. I thought that was, sure enough, good distance across there, but I'm gonna come over here and try to set up in this little mess over here. Trying to get it to where when the sun comes up tomorrow over that mountain, we'll have some sun right here on us before we head out of here. I don't want to go back up in there in the trees. There's already no light up in there, so let's try this again. All right, camp is set up right there. Tried to do a video of me setting it up, and the camera kept falling over, so anyways, there it is. Hammock is up underneath that tarp. Tarp's there just in case it does start to rain, and to kind of keep a little more heat. So I'm gonna get my sleeping bag put in there. I've got clothes hung up over there, and then maybe try and look around for something to eat. Haven't ate anything all day, so that's kind of been tough. Definitely need to drink some water after getting that set up. That wasn't the easiest thing. As you can see, I'm set up. Those trees are a little too close together. These other two were too far apart. And then there's that dead tree like laying underneath me, but good enough. All right, I got my shirt dried out. My beanie's dried out. I set them over there in the sun, so we'll look into the setup here. Got my sleeping bag in there and my wool sweater. I'm hungry. There's nothing to eat around here. There's little birds, no chipmunks, no squirrels. I'm gonna keep messing around in some of this wood. It's over here, see if I can find any like beetle larvas, anything like that, but I'm just wore out. So anyways, that's what I'm gonna do until it starts getting dark, I guess. Maybe have a little fire, I don't know if I'm even gonna do that. I wasn't even gonna have a fire. I did find some water, so that's good. No food. So anyways, the fire's kind of nice though. I dug a nice little hole. Used my fire starter. Actually sell these in our shop. This thing works really, really good. I'm pretty proud of it, so that's good. Definitely no shortage of dry wood around here, so I'm not gonna put anything big in it. Just gonna have a little small one here, and actually the warmth actually feels quite nice, so do that and just keep waiting on it to get dark. Good night. I guess I'll crawl in the sleeping bag and call it a night. What a night. I've never had cold feet in my life. And my feet have been freezing all night long. I don't know if I even slept an hour altogether. Not to mention, I guess I must be a little bit dehydrated, because if I tried to like pull my legs up to me, you know, instead of keeping them stretched out, I was getting cramps. If I tried to reach down and touch my feet, my hamstrings were cramping. So it's 5:30 now. This is usually what time I get up, so my stomach growled and rolled all night long. Jeez. One night of being out here without food was definitely different experience than I've ever had before, I guess. So I'd like to keep laying here because I'm completely exhausted and would like to try and fall asleep, but I'm so cold that I'm gonna have to get up and start a fire and get my feet warm. The whole feet being cold deal was all night long. I mean, they just feel like they're on fire. So I'm gonna get up, I'm gonna see if I can get a fire going and just start warming up until the sun comes up. I got about an hour, so